Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? I thank everyone for tuning in to the second episode of Spotlight Podcast. Today, I have a special guest. I'm going to try to pronounce her name. I hope I don't mess it all up. Miss Esther. I'm going to let her introduce herself. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Esther Akinsola. I'm a travel marketing coach and consultant, and basically, what I do is that I help travel and tourism SMBs build simple marketing systems so that they can focus on what they love doing, which is planning memorable trips.
Can you tell us where you're from and where you grew up at?
Yes, I'm from Nigeria, and most of my early days I grew up in Nigeria, so I'm Nigerian, somewhere in Africa.
Okay. Um, how was your childhood growing up there?
I would say that as a child, I think it was fun, but as an adult, I am thinking that it was quite rough, right? Because I grew up in the ghetto, right? And well, of course, I had my father who like kind of guided me, and so I wasn't exposed to those things, even though I was seeing them. But it made me have this kind of 360 view about life. So I could see things in my environment, and I just could tell that this is good, but this is not where I wanted to be. So yes, I think in that aspect it was rough. But then, like I said, I had my father who kind he guarded us, not just guard and guide. So like those are two different things. It made sure that yes, we realized that there's certain influences outside, but it ensured that most of my days I was indoors, just studying and growing. So yeah, it was rough in retrospect, but I had fun growing up as a child because that was the only way I knew, and I just loved books. So yeah.
Did you always know you wanted to work in a travel agent?
No, I didn't. As a matter of fact, if you had asked me, say October last year, I would have told you no. Okay, maybe June, July last year, I would have said no. But then one thing led to the other, just like how they'll tell us, based on certainty, there might be something else there for you. I think that's what my journey has been. And I'm very heavy on my faith. So I think that another thing that led me here is the fact that it's not a kind of, I believe and I say so much to myself that, seeth a man diligent in his work, he would stand before kings and not mean men. So I think that's what it is for me with travel. In fact, my first travel stint was like, I'd call it a failure. So I'd apparently worked with this company. I didn't sign a contract. We agreed I was just going to work for 3 months, see how things go, and they would see if they would hire me full time. It was a startup. It was messy. I still haven't gotten my pay. So, but the thing is, I blocked them everywhere. Maybe if they had seen that, become a better person now, perhaps they would have paid me. But yeah, I think that what that failure taught me was what was possible, right? Because I don't know what happened. I think the thing with startups is that their expectations, people are funding your organizations, investors, they definitely have expectations. That person transferred that to me, and then I just couldn't cope. And I said, you know what, I would have to stop here. But before I stopped, I had some sort of results. So, and I think that another thing that just helped me was the fact that I stayed in the pain long enough. I'm this kind of person that it's very easy for me to move on from anything. Well, aside from grief, I mean real grief, not grief from losing something, maybe someone. Staying in that pain long enough kind of made me realize that, okay, let's also travel when it was time for me to try it out. So, yeah. I've not always known that I'll be in travel.
All right. How do you unwind and relax when you're not working on your business or coaching others?
Truth is, work is fun. This is how I unwind. This is how I relax. First, yeah, I think that's the first thing. But another thing I'd say I do a lot of is I build scenarios, right? So I think of myself as a very photographic person, and because I work in international marketing, so there are lots of things that didn't happen for me to imagine and bring to life. So yes, that's how I unwind, and I just sleep. Yeah, a couple of times I catch up on some
All
series,
right.
but yeah, that's about it.
What's your favorite place to travel and why?
Okay, that be somewhere in Europe, right? Okay, so I don't want to mention like a specific place, but definitely somewhere in Europe because first on the business side of things, I feel like despite the fact that the European market is a very developed travel market, there are still other sites that we've not explored, say Portugal, Ireland, and there's so many potentials for the travel and tourism industry there. So yeah, definitely somewhere I would like to travel to, and not just travel to, but move to. Yeah, somewhere in Europe.
Who has been the most supportive person in your life, and how did it help your journey?
Okay. So I think that I'd be unfair if I mentioned just one person. There are a couple of people, I mean, for different phases of my life. Right now, I wouldn't say that I have a direct mentor. So is it okay if I mention a couple of people?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's Ted Nicholas. He's late now, but it was a top copywriter. There's Seth Godin. There's Godin is still alive, yeah. There's Garen. There's Thomas, one of my coaches on Up Notch. So we had this connection sometime last year. And I think another person is Natalia Bayuna. So that's the current executive director of United Nations Tourism. I think she's like 33. And when I saw her profile, I'm like, oh my gosh, because we had a chat sometime last year and she was very warm. I thought, oh my gosh, this person is 33 and she has done this. It just made me see what was possible, right? So, yes, those people. And Nima. Nima is also someone that, has really impacted my journey. Tons of them, really.
What inspired you to pursue your career in travel marketing, and how was your journey shaped to where you are today?
Okay, so I'd say my failure inspired me. I don't know if it was an inspiration, but here's my journey. So I've been a freelancer for like about 4 years, and then I suddenly had this contact crunch where I didn't have a gig at all for like 9 months. It was tough, right? And I finally had one. It was okay. Yeah, I was working with this company in Australia, and then we sold out to another company in Los Angeles, and then I got a job with an Italian company and we're doing travel tech, right? And like I mentioned earlier, I didn't sign a contract. I was not supposed to work for 3 months, see how it goes. And then 1 week in, the founder keeps telling me, if you don't get results, I'm gonna have to let you go. If you don't get results, I mean, I kept hearing that consistently for like 3 days. And I was like, oh my gosh, have I not made a mistake? And I think I managed to the end of the second week. And then I eventually said, okay, you know what? You just have to like treat me this way. If that can't work, then maybe I'll just have to go. And I left without a pay or anything like that. And but before I left, I kind of got some results like with their PR distribution and influencer outreach. And after that happened, I didn't get a gig for like a really long time. So I think that just staying in that phase without a gig really helped me to really revel in what I've achieved in like a week or 2 weeks, even though there were external pressure. I felt like, wow, that was serious. Like I think in a week I got us published in about, our news got distributed by 257 publications. But really the founder didn't see that. And I was also a student at the London School of Journalism around the time. And I had to niche, right? So I had to choose like a specialty as a writer. And I just couldn't think of anything else because travel was just the only thing that I'd done last without a gig, without another gig aside from that. So I thought, okay, this travel, I think I kind of achieved something with it. Let me go into travel. So I chose travel, and then I got my first internship with a media publication in the US. And that was how it started. God bless Max. Max gave me that access. And I began to talk to like key industry players. So Max has been in industry for like over 30 years. And then I was able to ride on that influence when I came in as an intern. I interviewed key people in the industry and I realized that there's a gap, right? And so this was also post COVID. The industry was trying to like get back to what it used to be. And I saw that gap and thought, okay, there's something I can definitely do here. And that's how I got into travel.
Okay.
And I think
Like
another thing
that.
is my journey has,
Hardworking woman.
well, I wouldn't say it has been linear though, but I guess it's turning out good for me. And I feel like every deal has led me to the next good one. And every great connection has made me see what is obtainable.
So, have you tell me about these 70? You says you worked in the marketing travel agencies and tour operators. Facebook community to come over
Yeah.
to 200 members across 70 countries in 6 months. That's very impressive. Can you tell me more about those strategies in marketing and how you did that?
Yeah, definitely I can. I think that till today, I'm a very spontaneous person, but I think that that was the most spontaneous thing I've ever done. I think it was sometime in June. I just woke up and felt, oh, I've always had this group. I wasn't doing anything. I just woke up and thought, okay, let's even do something. Let's just start a community. And I went on Facebook and named it Marketing for Travel Agents and Tour Operators. And after doing that, the next thing I began to think of was because I have some marketing background, right? And I began to think of what to do. How do I get people engaged? What can I really do, really? And I developed a couple of strategies. One of them is members takeover. And I just kept posting content because my strength is also in content marketing. So I began to post articles that are related to travel, tourism, but then specifically on marketing. And I realized that there was such a gap, especially in the Middle East and African market. And so I was able to also move that into the European market. And before I knew it, we just kept growing. It was like wildfire. So one of the things that I started was members takeover, where you would post your business on the group, but I would decline the post and just come to your DM to say, hey, thank you. I have this thing. It's called members takeover. It's free. I'll do publicity for you. It's free too. All you need to do is come talk to us about your business, and I'm going to match you with another travel business on the spot. And that really worked because I was matching people like crazy. And the thing is that till today, as our result still surprises me, and the first one we did was with a tour operator in Tanzania. So before our session at all, four people had already reached out to her, one in India, Botswana, and two other places she shared with me then that they wanted to do business with her just by me creating a publicity material for her and content. And there was no hard in between at all. We're just posting because then I was gradually already breeding my own audience. And marketing is my jam. So and we got on the session in itself, and she got matched to two other people. Now these are connections that people would usually pay thousands to get, or they would even have to go for a travel event. But I'm saying that I'm giving you the access. Just come do this thing for free, and it just kept going like that. I also developed Q&A Tuesday where I just go on Quora and Reddit, pick questions that people are asking around travel marketing, then answer them in my community. And then we started tourism clinic too every Monday. And I also started monthly marketing webinar just once a month. And we kept growing. One person told the other person, told the other person, and that was it. That's why we're here.
That was very impressive. I was like, I can't wait to talk to her through this one. If you can tell me, like, what countries? Well, if you can name all of them, what countries have you worked with or done business with?
Australia, Australia. You mean personally or with the community? Are you asking that
Just the community.
with the community that I've worked with? Peru, Kenya, Tanzania, Jamaica. Ooh, it's flying off the top of my head right now. Man, okay. Let's see. Okay, I think that's all I can remember for now. But I'm currently working with this company right now. I think they're in Zambia. Yes. So there are a couple of them. Oh yeah, another one in South Africa. India.
So even though I'm in America, if I needed a travel agent, could I book you to
Definitely
be my
you can.
travel agent to go around?
Okay, so
Okay.
yes, there's a part for that where you can say you want to book me as a travel partner representative or as a company representative where I can attend events on your behalf and get you deals on your behalf wherever it is in the world.
So if I wanted to go to, let's say, to visit your country,
Mhm.
how would it be? How could I make that? How could you make that happen for me?
Okay, so
People that don't know.
yeah, I mean, personally, I'm not a travel agent. What I do is I teach marketing to travel agents and tour operators. But there are tons of these people in my network. So I just post it and then link you with one of them. And then they're able to help.
Okay. Got you, got you, got you, got you. Um, what are some biggest challenges you face in starting your own travel marketing company, and
Yeah,
how'd you overcome them?
yeah, I think the first thing is with nationality, right? So there's this media, like bad media around where I come from. I mean, which is okay. I think it taught me to just live as a global talent, really. So there's so many things about Nigerians, there's scam and all of that. And that was the first thing that I had to face because at the time I had to leave my address for the company formation. And it took a lot of proving myself really to finally get registered. That's the first thing. The second thing was now it's different. I used to be a freelancer, then an independent contractor, but I'm having my own thing now. And what that means is that we have to grow and I have to also grow a team. So yes, that was a bit of a challenge because it's a new terrain, but then it meant that I had to learn and the pace was different. Right now, I'm not just doing marketing for people, I have to do marketing to get people in. So lots and lots and lots of classes. Yeah, there were a couple of things in between really that I don't think I was prepared for. Right. So, and one of it would be, I think I've set up my structure in such a way that if I hire somebody to them, they're like, oh, Esther, we're capable. And they work for like 2 weeks by themselves. So just like, oh, Esther, I can't cope. That's just how tight the system is. You have to know that there's no room for laziness. But that can also be like quite disappointing because I mean, after training someone and they're like, I think you moved too fast for me. So yeah, that was one thing I wasn't prepared for that I had to learn along the way. That sometimes who you think is your best hire because you've read their resume and you think you should give them a chance might not really be the best. And so you have to cope with that phase of them leaving. And another thing was looking for subcontractors. That was a challenge. You now have to get good at hiring other people to deliver on the quality that you promised your clients, which is not always easy, really. Yeah, so those were some of the challenges that I faced.
Can you share a story of facing several rejections before building or thriving the traffic marketing company? What kept you motivated during those tough times?
Yeah, I definitely can. I think this one is very significant. It marked my entrance into the travel space, right? So while I was studying at the London School of Journalism and I realized, oh, I wanted to do something in travel, I didn't always know I was going to do travel marketing because I started as a writer, then travel journalist before I got into travel marketing. And I remember sending out lots of emails asking for an internship. And in like 3 days, 15 came back saying different things. But I mean, they all pointed to one thing like rejections. And that broke me. I'd never had that much rejections before. And that was a phase that I needed to move out of. So I think that that was like my first major rejection that prepared me for every other kind of rejection. But I did go back to everyone that rejected me and gave them reasons why they should pick me. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I got picked by the second largest travel blog in the world. Now, talking about how I was able to translate that into the marketing space as a travel marketer, I don't think I've really faced a major rejection as a travel marketer because resilience, like I said, from that rejection, I was able to build resilience. Maybe the only kind of rejection I've faced will be me giving out a price for a service and they're like, we can't do this, we can't do this. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to give you a lower price. I just have to move on, right? Because I'm at that point where I've decided to increase my rates. And you definitely keep getting more people who are trying to take you into what you've just come out of. Yeah, so I think, yeah, that would be.
Right. How do you balance your business with coaching others and managing community and managing?
Yeah, I'm not even going to lie to you, it's a lot of work. And I'm currently working on recruiting like a client success person and an editor for the coming year. But one of the things that has really helped me is planning. I'm a very, very organized person, even to the tiniest of details, right? So whatever I'm doing next week, I already know it yesterday or the day before yesterday. That's Wednesday or Thursday. That's how far ahead I plan. And sometimes I plan my calendar in advance for a month. So what that means is that if I don't know that I'm meeting you on Saturday, by Monday, I'll probably not show up. So planning has given me buffer times in a case where sometimes I have like 15 meetings every week and I don't show up everywhere, really. I use scheduling tools. It has been very, very helpful. Another thing is I like to think that I'm a very energetic person. So what that means is that I can sit at a go, say 5 hours, 4 hours, or 3 hours and get like a lot of things done. Just like batch writing our emails, batch writing our content and all of that. And, I arrange all of our programs 2 hours earlier. So if we're having a program, say 5 p.m. on Monday, everything is ready like 2 hours earlier. And another thing I also think is that I think that I'm a creative, I'm kind of a creative person. So everyone around me kind of understand that I need time, solitude to be that creative person because my mind is constantly working.
Right. What are some of the most impactful moments that you develop in your traveling marketing community, and how did they help your traveling and your tourist business?
Okay. If I would say moment, that would be it's something that's not paid for. It's one of those programs that I just mentioned earlier. That's with members takeover. It was Lena, very very defining moment for me, right? So every time I think about her, I remember my hero story. So aside from waking up one day and deciding to like name a community, I used to have a very old Facebook group, right? And I'm not sure what it was, but I just got up one day and I deleted it because I felt I didn't have a purpose for it. It wasn't serving any purpose, and I thought that I can always start from anywhere when I was ready. And so someday came and I was ready. I opened another one and began to grow my audience along that line. So Lena was already a friend of mine, and a friend along the brand, someone who follows me. So not like a friend that I know. And when I mentioned members takeover, she was like, "Oh, Esther, okay, cool, I'm interested." And for me, that was a test, right? Because everything about marketing is just testing. You test, you optimize, you analyze. And we had that. I made a publicity material for her. We had a session, and then she got 4 people. I'm like, what? 4 people. I didn't run any kind of ad for you. I just posted. And then in the session itself, she got 2 people. That's like 6 people. I'm like, wow, that was very impactful for me. And that made me stick to members takeover. Right now, I think we've had maybe 9 sessions this year, constantly matching other businesses with other travel businesses that wanted to work with them. As a matter of fact, we had another one last month too that was quite impactful and inspiring for me. There's this travel tour operator in South Africa. She had lost a gig of like 18 groups because they were going to Johannesburg. She's in Cape Town and she does not have any connection in Johannesburg. And so she lost that deal. And then she came to me, she was like, "Oh, what's that? This thing that you do? Maybe I can get someone." I'm like, "Okay, let's just hook you up." And then we got on the call. There was literally another person on the call that is in Johannesburg and is also looking for someone in Cape Town, and they connected. Now they're able to do business together. So members takeover has been very impactful, not just for those I get to bring on board for, but for also myself. It's made me see what's possible.
How do you stay authentic in the industry that constantly that's constantly evolving? Sorry.
Yeah, I think that the first thing is that personally, I've been able to define what I want people to know me as, right? So, yes, I do travel marketing, I do tourism marketing. I'm constantly telling stories that align with my brand, but also I'm my real person, and I don't share things that I don't intend to. My belief is that changes come and go. What we're seeing, the trends that we're seeing now, it will probably be something different from what we'll be seeing in the next 5 years and the next decade, right? So it is you that define what people can expect from you and how they should relate with you. And I know that can sound cliche, but that's the thing with branding. You keep re-engineering subconsciously until it becomes conscious. So I still share what I want and people still find it helpful. And I also feel like the journey is different from everyone. So me, personally, I know my ideal customer profile. I'm relatable, I'm transparent, and I think that's enough. I think one example of how I still stay authentic is I launched something. I think it was 2 weeks ago, or maybe last week. It's an affiliate platform where I get to like sell adventure tours, and apparently a couple of people had wired me their money via Stripe. And I don't know, I just woke up one day and I'm like, okay, we're just starting. I don't really think we should charge for this. I think we should just make it free. And I went on my profile, I'm like, hi, thank you all for paying whoever has paid. I'm refunding you via Stripe now. So I think that we should really redefine authenticity. For me, being relatable and transparent is just enough. If I'm increasing my rates, people know online because I put it on my socials.
From your perspective, how is the travel industry transforming, and what role does the marketing play in this evolution?
I think that that's a very good question. We're constantly seeing a lot of things. For example, this year we've seen the rise of VR. I thought it was going to be more than this, but I mean, let's see what the next couple of years holds. But one thing that has really, really blown up is artificial intelligence. So personally, my focus is on EMEA and I have a diverse community across 70 regions. So automatically there's a place for everyone. That's how I see it. And I think that with technology, things will continue to evolve even over the next couple of years. With the way marketing is changing it, I think that we're now going to begin to see marketing as not just a tool, to reach more people, but it begins to now bridge the gap between bringing people close to technology.
Advice would you give someone looking to pursue this career in travel marketing?
Okay. I think that if you're looking to pursue a career in travel marketing, you have to be very open minded. You have to be very flexible. And I like I'd always say, just start from somewhere. There's a lot in travel marketing. If you're just starting out, maybe you focus on SEO. And then again, there's some things we call transferable skills. So you do not just come into travel marketing because travel marketing is not like a specialized industry. You have to have some sort of skills, first of all, that you can now transmit into this industry. So it's very important that you realize which of your skills that you want to start from, and then you can bring that here. You also have to be concerned about the people, right? One of the things that has really helped me is that I'm constantly watching out for signals. If you don't look out for signals, you would have something you think is attractive, but there's nobody buying because the money is important too. So you have to keep that in mind if you're looking to come into travel marketing. Network a lot. That's how this industry works.
Yeah. What do you think are there keys to trade of success and entrepreneur in this today's world?
I think generosity will have to be one, like top of my list, because I've really realized that the people that make the most money are people that are ready to help. So when we are going in for it, I think one key trait is generosity. The market responds to people that give to them, and I think a classic example is YouTube. I post my shit, whatever it is that I love talking about on YouTube, and I might not even really see it as a lot of work, but YouTube rewards me for my time and my talent. So, key trait of any successful entrepreneur is that generosity, and I think that successful entrepreneurs are very flexible because sometimes you think that your mission will go the way your vision should, but it doesn't go that way. So let's say that yeah, I had like a one of the things we wanted to do is to grow the community, and I thought to myself, well, okay, another way to do that would be we have to hit 2,500 by December, and I thought that okay, we already at that phase where we have momentum, right? But momentum was not enough. I'm now beginning to encourage people to say, okay, you've seen the community, you've seen that it's valuable. Please, invite your folks. And we're currently at 2,300. So sometimes you have a grand vision, you have missions for it, and you think it will always go that way. Sometimes it doesn't, but you have to be flexible to adjust and to make quick changes. So yeah, I think those are key traits. Another thing is I think successful entrepreneurs are people who also ask for help, right? Because there's this, oh, I'm going solo, I want to do this. I think I can do this alone, but really, you need help. So I think successful entrepreneurs ask for help.
I thank y'all for tuning the Spotlight podcast. It's been a good one. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Thank you guys. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe out there, stay dangerous. One love. Peace.